to the Gospel Road. Here we are, 2013. Hopefully things will be a little better. I know it's been a while, but I know as people have still been listening to the podcast that I've had posted, and thank you very much for doing so. And thank you for the encouragement and the words and the conversations that have actually happened with these. But again, you know how this goes is, it's just all about encouraging and inspiring, and a lot of things that I end up reading, I just want to share, and hopefully it does the same for you as it works for me. And today we're going to look at Colossians chapter 3. And here we go. Verse 1. Since then you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things, for you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you also will appear with him in glory. Put to death, therefore, whatever belongs to your earthly nature: sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, and greed, which is idolatry. Because of these, the wrath of God is coming. You used to walk in these ways in the life you once lived, but now you must rid yourselves of all such things as these: anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language from your lips. Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices, and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge in the image of its Creator. Here there is no Greek or Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave or free, but Christ is all and is in all. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive what grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace. And be thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom, as you sing psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs with gratitude in your hearts to God. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Verse 18, wives, submit to your husbands as is fitting to the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh to them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, and do it not only when their eye is on you to win their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence from the Lord. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. Anyone who does wrong will be repaid for his wrong, and there is no favoritism. Colossians chapter 3 is what we're looking at here. And one of the things that really got to me when I was reading through this, as you're trying to be better and have a better life and treat each other with love and respect. And that's the important part there that I find. In fact, it was in something that I was writing earlier today in a motivational blog that I've started doing, of how we need to keep our eyes not on the material things, but we need to look at who we are and what we're becoming. Because what we're becoming is what is the important piece, and how we're treating one another. In fact, here in verse 12, it says, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have one against another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you, which is something we all have problems with, which is something we all need to realize. I grew up in church, and many of you know that. Many of you, we've had the conversation, and through that I've seen so many things because of growing up, and then just looking at friends that I have today and people that I know, and I see the anger and hate that a lot of people they won't get rid of. I mean, even here in Colossians, it says right here in verse 8, anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language from your lips. These are things that you're to get rid of and to not look for, but you just see so many pieces of that. I've been doing a lot of studying and looking into history and even looking at Christianity, of how it was never a mainstream religion. In fact, many people, and there's even countries today that still are trying to, that believe in Jesus, but they have to do it quietly to themselves, or they, will be killed, or they will be murdered because of that. And that's the way it really was, back in the beginning. Even after Jesus died on the cross, things didn't really change until, the early part, but, it was about the, 300 AD before things kind of started making a little bit of a turn. It was becoming more of a mainstream religion. But again, the things that we have to look at is being a better person for ourselves, and not sit here and, be rude to each other. We need to share love. We need to share God's love. We need to give that love one to another. And that's the one thing that I know I try to do my best. I'm not saying that I'm always ever the perfect one to do this, but these are the things that we need to remember. These are the things of how we need to act and what we need to do for each other. And I think a lot of us forget that. We forget the love. We forget the compassion that Christ has shown us, that we need to share with others around us, and not look at it that we need to be that hard-handed person. It's our job to, share the love and then let God take it from there. And a lot of us almost feel like that we need to do God's work, and we need to make sure everyone is understanding, but that's not even the way it is. The Bible even tells us that we are all going to come up to understanding at our own time. We're all different. None of us are the same. We're all in different, we're brought up differently, and we all learn in different ways. We all also comprehend in different ways. Some are faster than others, and they understand things quicker than others. And these are just, again, you got to remember, it's the love and it's the peace that we need to really encourage one another with. And we need to be there for one another when they're having problems and when someone needs to talk, and just show them the same love that was given to us. We take that and give it to them in return. Again, thank you very much for taking the time and listening to me, and hopefully it has really helped you. I know these are things that I'm still learning, and I'm still growing every day, and it was, just a couple of years ago that I even had to realize on my own, I need to let go. I need to quit focusing on the bad. I need to realize what it is that I need to be doing. And rather than sitting there and holding on to things, to just kind of let it go. Don't be so stressed. Don't let the things that happen in everyday life get to me, because a lot of those things we don't have control of. But what we do have control of is how we are going to react to situations that happen to us. So are you going to, one of the old ways of saying it, are you going to take the high road to that situation, or are you going to stoop down and take the low side? I've chosen to kind of go on the high and just do the best I can. To just say, you know what, this isn't something that I can deal with. This isn't something that I can even fix, at least not right now. But it's nothing that I need to really get myself riled up for it either. And things will happen as they go. Again, thank you very much for listening to the Gospel Road. So until next time, Have a great day. God bless.